Yeah,
granted.
they take it for granted that facts are standalone without respect to the necessity of God. They take for granted that facts possess actuality and intelligibility without deriving and depending upon the necessity of God.
Okay, the facts don't stand alone. They stand with the using of some shape or form of method to test them to see if they're
I don't think you understood my point. Okay,
okay.
I'm actually giving you a wider metaphysic than what you're conceptualizing. What we're saying is any discrete facts that you want to invoke, they're not they are conceptualized by the unbeliever as existing without the necessity of deriving from the necessity of God. So either the facts themselves are self-contained and absolute, or they derive from something else that is absolute and ultimate other than God. Okay? So that's what we mean by standalone. Standalone means they simply exist without ultimate identification or reason why they exist, without respect or dependence upon God.
Okay, cool. Could an example of that be like, say, gravity?
Well, being that I hold to Christian fundamentalism, there isn't a single fact that is not God that exists without derivation and dependence upon God.
So then having a conversation with you about taking something and understanding it without it being grounded in factual upon God would be senseless then. Is that the
Well,
case?
it's not so much that it would be senseless, is that you would be inconsistent with your invocation of facts in terms of their actuality and intelligibility, because there would be no background information for you to put them on. So your facts would be brute facts, and if they're brute facts, there's no rhyme or reason as to what they are.
Okay. So we would basically just agree to disagree because we don't hold the
You're not.
same.
I guess that what I just said went right over your head. So I can simplify it for you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we only have two worldviews, right? Within those worldview, we have an array or a collection of facts. Okay. Now in one worldview, we have the God worldview. In the God worldview, all facts that are not God are created facts. Okay? Whether it's a rock on the side of the road or the cell phone that I'm holding in my hand, they're created facts. Okay? Now, in the not God world, there does not exist any created facts, meaning being derived and depending upon an ultimate, absolute creator. So then each and every fact, individually or collectively, will be brute. In other words, there is no ultimate identifiable reason why they exist at all. There would be no explanation. Okay? Therefore, the facts would not have any actual intrinsic meaning. Okay? Are we clear?
I think so. Can I repeat it in my own words and you can tell
Sure.
me if I
Go
understand or
ahead.
don't? So if we don't accept that things are in the God world, they don't actually exist in the non-God world. Is that the case?
Well, I don't hold that the not God world exists. The point I'm trying to make is that when you attempt to invoke facts explicitly or more usually implicitly without reference to the necessity of God as creator and sustainer, then your facts are no facts at all. They're meaningless.
Okay, cool. I think I can live with that. I can live with
No,
my my meaningless fact.
you're not under.
I
Again,
am
no,
understanding.
you're not.
I
I can
do.
tell just by your
Okay.
answer you didn't understand. Okay, because when you can
Okay.
say
Cool.
that, it's because what that then means is
Hmm.
that everything is absurd. In other words, nothing can mean anything.
Yeah, and I'm willing to live with that. That's cool.
You're
Okay, does
not
that statement
understanding.
mean
You,
anything?
okay, when you say I and I'm willing to live with that, those words do not have any actual meaning in a not
Okay.
God world.
Okay. Cool.
There's no background information for it.
Okay. So then, where do we go from there?
No, what the point is when you refuse to accept that God is, by virtue of the fact that He's revealed Himself in creation through human history, then all you're left with in your rebellion against God is to keep your mouth shut. But the moment you open up your mouth, we have to confront you with the facts that you invoke are no facts at all. They don't have any background information to mean anything at all. Therefore, what comes out of your mouth is sound and fury signifying anything. There's nothing that means anything. In order to understand what I'm saying, imagine that the Christian worldview is true for the sake of discussion for the moment. Every individual fact, either individually or collectively, is what it is because it derives, it originates, and it's sustained by the mind and the plan of God. So that there wouldn't be any fact that could have meaning, interpretation, intelligibility, and actuality if it doesn't derive and depend upon the mind of God. Now, when you reject that, then the question is, where does the actuality, its realness, its intelligibility, and actual meaning for any fact or proposition, what is it based upon? Well, in a not God world, it's nothing. Therefore, you're left in a state of metaphysical absurdity. Nothing can be invoked and defended to mean anything.
P or not P.
Okay?
Okay, cool. Thanks for
So,
explaining that to
so
me.
see, this is the proof of the Christian worldview that God has revealed himself. And when you deny his self-disclosure of himself, you are plunged into an abyss of metaphysical absurdity. But you don't care because your highest priority is to preserve your independence and your rebellion against God, which we call autonomy of reason, as opposed to you acknowledging the autonomy of God's mind and his reason as your creator and sovereign Lord. So this is the only way to show you, finally, why your unbelief is false and incoherent.
Okay.
Because
And
you cannot derive any meaning
yeah.
whatsoever for anything. And
Okay.
if you tell
And
me otherwise, I'm going to say, good, show me how.
okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. And by
You
all
can't.
means, I'm not denying that. By all means, I'm not arguing with you that the Christian worldview does not exist. By all means, I'm not denying
Okay,
that.
if you
You
if
guys
you
can.
do not
Yeah.
accept the Christian worldview, the
Yeah.
non-acceptance constitutes a de facto denial.
Is that
Okay.
P or not? Is that P or not P?
Okay, if you do not accept the Christian worldview as true,
Hmm.
as all-encompassing as a worldview, the non-acceptance of any particular worldview constitutes the denial therein.
Okay.
Is that P or not P? Is that
All right,
what you're
Why?
Jeff.
saying?
Why are
Jeff,
you?
hold on a minute.
Why?
Hold on a minute. Is that Jeff Trimble? Are you Jeff? Are you Jeff Francis?
Yes,
Why are you coming in here with a fake name?
because Darth kicked me out. I want to know if he's
Okay,
actually it P or not P,
I
right?
kicked you out.
Is
I
it P or
kicked you
not
out.
P?
Jeff, you're in your 60s. Why do you behave like a defiant teenager? Why do you
Are
do
you
this?
saying P or not P, Darth?
Okay, goodbye, goodbye. Okay, all right.
Hey, Darth, can I ask you a favor? Could you
Yeah.
unblock me so I can listen to some of the recordings of the rooms, just for?
Well, I blocked you because of your previous trolling. Now,
Okay.
do you commit to not trolling me anymore?
I commit to not trolling.
Okay, that's all I ask. Okay, I will unblock you.
Thank you.